These are floating lily pad mats from CTSC. Now, they're marketed as a great way to get your family having fun on the water this summer. But are they as durable as they claim? Are they worth what seems like a pretty steep price? And last of all, what size should you get because they come in a wide variety? I'm gonna answer those three questions and more in this video, so stay tuned. But first, what's up? I'm Jeff, welcome to my backyard. This channel's fun-sized adventures where we're all about trying to help you and your family build some backyard fun on a budget. Or in this case, go to the lake without spending a fortune. So right up front, you're probably asking yourself, why does Jeff have 3 of these mats? Well, that's because the brand reached out and wanted to send me these to take photos and some videos for them to use on their Amazon listing, etc. But that said, in this video on my channel, they're not paying me to say anything particular. This is my honest review. But I did just want you to know up front that these were gifted to me. There's not really much to the unboxing process. They come in a cardboard box, open that up. Don't use a razor blade because you don't want to accidentally cut into the foam. And inside the box, they're in a big plastic bag. And then that's it. That's really all you got to do. And then when you get to your local lake, ocean, or your backyard pool, all you got to do is take the Velcro straps off, unroll it, and it's gonna want to keep rolling up. So what they recommend you do is you unroll it, flip it over, maybe put some weight on top of it for a while, and that'll help flatten that out. One thing that I'd recommend, as I've used these several times, is every time you roll it up to put it away, roll it up the other way. So that way it kind of balances itself out. It should only kind of get stuck in that curl position when it's been stored for a while. Once you've unrolled them, they will have, especially on the interior side of the curl, some little creases and wrinkles that look kind of like your grandfather's skin in a bathing suit. That's completely normal, and those will fade as it flattens out. And then you're all set to go have fun and use them. When it comes to putting them away, I would recommend trying to roll them up while you're still in the shallow water, because if you take them up onto the sand or whatever the shore of your current situation is, you're probably gonna pick up some debris when they're wet, and it's gonna stick to it. Just a little tip I picked up along the way. And then once you get back to your house, you're probably gonna wanna unroll these and let them completely dry, particularly if they're gonna be stored for a few weeks or more, because you wanna get that water out so they just don't get any sort of molding on them. Then the manufacturer recommends you store them in a dry place away from direct sunlight. I put them in the basement. That seems to work great. Make sure they're also not somewhere where your cat or your dog could get at them, because these are just giant scratching posts waiting to happen. They also come with this 16-foot long bungee cord with a little locking carabiner on the end. That is your anchor that you can use to tie it off to a dock, or I've tied it off to a rock that was under the water, and that worked really good. So that's really all that you need to know about the setup, takedown, everything like that. I mean, it's a big flat piece of foam. How difficult could it be, right? Which is gonna take us into my review portion, where first up, let's talk about the durability. I've seen these and they kind of just look like pool noodle material, and that's kind of had me worried, especially when you look at the different price points that these are sold at. Because I know that I've taken a pool noodle and torn it in two very easily. But what this has that those pool noodles don't is the 2 outside layers are nice and soft. Inner layer is a little bit denser, a little bit more durable, and that kind of helps give it its strength. And then sandwiched in between those layers of foam, there's actually a nylon mesh that helps hold everything together and gives it that better strength and durability. As long as you're playing with this in the water, you're probably not gonna be able to tear it. We were fooling around, we were trying to stand up and jump around on it. We didn't have any issue like that. The only thing that damaged this at all is when they were in my basement, one of my kids threw like a flashlight that kind of had a little bit of a sharp metal thing on it, and it put a little ding in it. So if these are gonna get damaged, it's probably gonna be something stupid like that, not actually using it in the water. So in light of that, I have to say that I've turned around on the durability. I'm not worried that they're gonna fall apart. This will be around for years and years to come, as long as we can keep it away from the cat in the basement, like I said. But she's old. She's only got a few years left. Which brings me to the price point. I have 3 different sizes here. This one is the 4-foot by 9-foot. This one is the 5-foot by 10-foot, and this one is the big one. This is 5-foot by 12-foot. Currently, as I record this one is on sale on Amazon for about $150. This one's, I think, a little bit under $200. And this one is right around $250. And those are all kind of, they say sale prices, but you know how Amazon prices are. But you know me, how budget conscious I am about everything I buy, and that does seem a little bit steep. But if you compare it to other flotation devices you could get, yeah, you could get cheap stuff from like Family Dollar or whatever. If you're gonna buy a raft or something, you're probably getting close to, if not, I haven't tried to buy one of those in a while, but you're getting close to the price point of this. And I think there is something to the peace of mind of not having to worry about it popping, not having to worry about inflating something. I know that's the worst part of when we go to the lake, is when I get there and then my kids want all this stuff inflated. By the time I want to go swimming, I passed out from trying to blow into all of these tubes and floaties. You should factor that into it, is your time that you're not spending inflating something. And I'm also the guy who bought a paddleboard a few years ago that was like $700. So in relation to that, like, I bought that because, number one, I wanted a paddleboard. Number two, I thought it would be a good thing for the kids to float on and jump off of. And this one, the big one especially, works great for that. The kids can all stand up on it and jump off. Yeah, as you try to jump, it pushes down into the water a little bit, but you can still do it, and it's a fraction of the cost of that paddleboard. So it's all in relation to what you're comparing it to, really. And then comparing the 3 different sizes, like I said, we got 4x9, 5x10, and 5x12. On the one hand, the price difference to go from the small one up to the biggest one is not that much. You're definitely getting more mat for your dollar the bigger you go, so there is that to consider. Also, the bigger sizes have 2 different spots where the bungee tether connects, which I think is great. It has a pretty robust little connector there. There's peace of mind in having 2 different spots so that, number one, you have a backup. Number two, it distributes that pressure, especially if it's getting tugged on quite a bit. Something else to consider is ease of transporting it to or from the lake. The 4-foot one, when rolled up, can fit easily in the back of my van, in the back of my car. These ones, not so much. These ones I need to ratchet strap down to the roof. So it's much more of a process trying to get the big ones to the lake, where with the small one, just throw it in the back of the car and you're good to go. Now, the listed weight limits for these say 400 pounds for this one, 600 for this, and close to 700 for the big one. If people read that, get a little bit of an idea that they're gonna be able to float completely out of the water. Now, on any of these, once you're sitting and you are like me and you only weigh 200 pounds, you're gonna create a divot right there and it's gonna fill with water. You're gonna get wet. If you're not looking to get wet, this is not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is called a boat. But as long as you understand that, we're talking about keeping you from sinking to the bottom of the lake. If you put 400 pounds on this, everybody's gonna be sitting in like 18 inches of water. Most of the mat's gonna be a little bit underwater, but it's gonna keep you from sinking. Because of that, like weight limit wise, I would only recommend the smallest one if you have maybe a couple kids, and especially if they're on the younger side. If you have a big family like me, you're probably gonna wanna go for the bigger sizes. So at the end of the day, that's some stuff to consider when you're deciding which size you want. Like I said, I think overall, this is gonna be a long-lasting addition to your summer fun that will last you through your kid's childhood. I have had no reason to not think that, even though CTSC did send me these mats, and a big thank you to them. That's my honest opinion. I wouldn't steer you wrong. Because if there's one thing I hate more than anything, it's wasting your money. I don't think you'll waste your money with these as long as you understand the limitations of what they are and that they serve a specific purpose. They're not a boat, they're not a tube, but they're kind of their own thing. If you want to know more information, including current pricing, check out the links in the description. Those are affiliate links, so if you choose to buy, this channel will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you, and that'll help keep this channel making fun content to help you and your family get out there and have some adventures. But for now, if you're looking for another way to have some fun on the water, check out this video right here. This is my review of that paddleboard I mentioned earlier, and I'll show you how I got an amazing deal on that. I didn't pay the $700, like I said. But whatever you do, until next time, get out there with your kids on the lake or just in your backyard if it's kind of a crappy, cloudy, cold day like it is here today, and have a fun-sized adventure of your own. See ya.